name is Adriana Carter, and I'm here to teach you how to develop a 5-paragraph standard English essay. Now, most of the time, you'll only be using this essay format in your Introductory English 1101 or 1102 courses. However, the skills you develop from writing this essay will help you way beyond your typical introductory course. We will begin by introducing the mnemonic device for this video. To learn how to properly write an essay, I want you to actually think about a tree. Now, we all know what a tree looks like, and each part of a tree is going to correspond to each part in our essay. For instance, in a tree we have the roots, the trunk, the branches, and the leaves. Now let's begin with the root of the tree, our thesis. In order to support itself, a tree must have strong roots. In a similar manner, a paper must have a strong thesis in order to support its logical argument. The thesis statement, or the T in our acronym of TREE, is a statement that usually rests at the last sentence of your introductory paragraph that gives a claim and then backs it up with evidence that will be the topics of your next 3 paragraphs. So here we have an example of a great thesis statement. First, we have King Arthur is the ultimate example of a leader. This here is our claim. Now we're going to back it up with different evidence. So, because 1, he rules Camelot with mercy, 2, he overcomes political conflict, and 3, he ultimately unites the kingdom. These 3 sentences with our evidence are going to form the basis of our next 3 paragraphs. Next, we're going to move away from our thesis statement and now move into the body paragraphs. In order to support your argument, you need to use rhetoric, or the R of our TREE acronym. The rhetoric of an essay is like the trunk of a tree. It upholds each of the points you are trying to make. Without the trunk, the tree cannot support itself on its own. So rhetoric is defined as the art of effective or persuasive speaking or writing, or it's also just the language designed to persuade an audience. In addition, a 5-paragraph essay must avoid the use of passive voice. An example of active and passive voice is Julie loves Adam. This is correct in the form that we are trying to use. This is in contrast to Julie is loved by Adam. While the 2 meanings are technically the same, we want to stick to this convention, which is correct for our 5-paragraph essay. Moving up the tree, we now look at the branches. A tree always has branches in the same way an essay always includes examples. Let's talk about different examples you may encounter in a 5-paragraph essay. The first example we're going to go over is an example with quotations. So, for instance, let's go back our earlier argument about King Arthur being an effective leader. Our first point was that King Arthur ruled with mercy. So now we're going to back up our claim with a couple examples. So, as Leonard states, King Arthur forgave Guinevere for her infidelity, page 115, and therefore he ruled with mercy. So looking at examples, see here that we use direct quotations to support our argument and include the page number for citation. Now let's take the same previous example and present it in a different way. Leonard discusses King Arthur and states that Arthur forgave Guinevere of her infidelity, page 115. Arthur's forgiveness is an example of his mercy. This is an example of paraphrasing, where we take one author's ideas and put it in our own words while still giving credit to the author. Pick examples carefully. Take them from trusted sources and always cite them properly. Examples should be woven through your essay, just the same way that branches are woven throughout a tree. Finally, in order to make the tree complete, a tree has to contain leaves. The leaves give the tree life, help it grow, and make it full. Similarly, explication, or analysis of examples, makes the paper complete. It is not enough to simply include examples. You have to analyze them as well. Your analysis of the examples is what makes your argument convincing and really is the entire point of your paper. So now let's revisit our earlier example of King Arthur being a merciful leader because he forgave Guinevere. Now let's take that quote that we presented earlier and analyze it and add to our own discussion. So, because Arthur forgave Gwyn, his knights believed him to be a fair and merciful leader. This is an example of explication and using analysis to further our argument. Now that you have pieced together all these different elements, it's time to return now to our conclusion paragraph. The roots of a tree keep it grounded, just as your thesis statement grounds your entire argument. So now we must, when ending our paper, revisit our thesis and our arguments and reformulate our opinions. In conclusion, rewords our thesis and gives our reader full understanding of our argument throughout the paper. Well, that is all the time we have for today. Remember that just as trees come in all different shapes and sizes, essays will all come in all different types of content. Remember to water your tree, help it grow, and your essay will be one of the strongest trees out there. Well, thank you. My name is Adriana Carter, and remember, tree, thesis, rhetoric, examples, and explication.